And my countrymen, as of the 21st of this month, I signed Proclamation number 1081, placing the entire Philippines under martial law.
When Ferdinand Marcos signed Presidential Decree 1081, the entire country was thrown into a bottomless pit of darkness and oppression. Civil liberties were curtailed. People cowered in silence for fear of the military and police. Poverty worsened and human rights violations swelled. Several Carmelite co-workers were hauled to prison. Others went into hiding. One Dutch friar, Leopold van Voet, was arrested and later deported for working with labor unions. Martial law left the Carmelites with no other choice but to commit themselves to the struggle for promoting peace, justice, and basic human rights, the beginning of a new way of social evangelization. A new vision steadily emerged, one that placed service to the people over and above maintaining institutions. In 1978, this aspiration was expressed in a position paper presented to the Dutch Carmelite chapter, The Option for the Poor, in which friars in the Philippines expressed their common conviction that they had no other choice but to stand on the side of the underprivileged. 1981 saw the acceptance of the two parishes in Ilagan, Isabela, an exponent of the order's commitment to the oppressed and heavily militarized population in San Mariano and Benito Soliven. These also paved the way for the creation of a long-standing exchange program between the Dutch Diocese of Groningen and the Diocese of Ilagan. However, championing the Church of the Poor was not without its own martyrs. In 1973, Father Engelbert van Vilsteren, parish priest in San Francisco, drove an ambulance to retrieve the body of a murder victim. On their way, he and 3 companions were ambushed, hacked to death by members of a fanatical sect. 10 years later, on suspicion that he was a communist sympathizer, student friar Izagani Valle was shot by the police in cold blood in Buena Vista, Agusan del Norte. His bullet-riddled body was displayed in front of the municipal hall, then later buried at a common grave. Later in 1983, a third tragedy befell the Carmelites when Father Simon Westendorp, a parish priest of San Francisco, perished in a sea tragedy on his way to a religious convention in Cebu. Among those who died with him were another priest and 7 nuns, including Dutch missionary Nanette Berendsen of the Sisters of Julie Postel. By far, the most gruesome memory in the last 5 decades was left by the bloody incident of September 20, 1985, when paramilitary forces of the government in Escalante gunned down civilians engaged in a protest rally over the 13th anniversary of the declaration of martial law. The sinister act is now known as the Escalante Massacre, of which our current Philippine Commissary General, Father Artemio Husayan, then a student friar, became a survivor and witness of this carnage. Bringing out their Elian tradition, the Carmelites' commitment to justice, peace, and the integrity of creation became a beacon in those dark days of martial law, attracting more young men into its fold, as well as an emerging group of lay collaborators, later known as the Associates.